Hello everyone and welcome to the first video of the Swift development series. In this video we're going to be going over how to install Xcode. So go ahead and open your App Store in Mac and you should see Xcode. Go ahead and hit download. Once you have that downloaded we can go ahead and hit open. I'm actually going to delete this. So once you hit open you can go ahead and hit get started with a new playground. So we're going to choose iOS, blank, and just go ahead and create that wherever. Alright, now you see we have import UI kit. It allows us to actually hit a lot of the Swift libraries and Swift package in general. And now we have this little piece of code right here. So var is essentially the keyword for variable. It allows us to change the variable and work with the variable. So let's go ahead and make this a little bigger. There you go. Alright, so and it says hello playground. So you'll see a couple of things here. Nothing too crazy for the most part, very basic. And then when we hit this run button, you'll see that it runs our playground and we'll see the output right here, or the value. So, but we can down here, we can take the name of our variable and reassign it to something random. Go oops. Alright, now we run that, and now it says oops. Okay, so now that we've seen how to actually get a variable going, we can use it for other things as well. For instance, if we don't actually want to change the value of the variable, we want it to be constant, we can simply use the keyword let. So we can call it my const, and we can have that equal to 0. Alright, now if we run that, we'll see the value of my const, which is 0. But if we want to change the value, we can run that and we'll get an error. Cannot assign value because it's constant. Alright, but if we did this, changed it back to var, it's running, and there we go. We're good to go. Alright, so this is how we can actually create a variable. One thing we can also do if we want to create a variable with an explicit type, we can say my late variable, and we can say this is a string. So you'll notice this actually runs and compiles. If you're coming from my Kotlin tutorial videos, you'll notice that this wouldn't fly in Kotlin because it needs to be initialized. However, cool thing about Swift is we can actually initialize this and then, or excuse me, we can actually declare and then we can later on initialize this to say something like hey, I'm here. Alright. Now if we go ahead and run that, see, there we go, hey, I'm here. Alright. So we can also specify the specific type. We can say int for just a number as well. So if we try and run that, cannot assign value of type string to int. So saying, hey, we're looking for a number, not a string. So we can say 3, and sure enough, we'll get 3. One way we can use to actually print out the values is instead of just looking on the side here, if we were in an actual IDE, we could use print, and it would do the same thing. And there we go. Print. This is a new line character, so it essentially says, hey, this is the variable plus a new line. All right. So now we can take. Let's call this first because I'm awful at naming variables. Call this first, and then we can say var second. And then we can say second equals 2. All right, now if we do print, we can say first plus second. And if we run that, we get 5. However, of course, new line character. So we can run all sorts of different math operators right here, and we can get the value. Fairly simple stuff, as many of you have, of course, seen. However, if this is your first time, it is very nice to know that this is very simple. Just doing the that's the multiplier operator, and yeah. So, however, if we want to divide it, we can say 6, 2, and do that. The slash for division, and there we go. All right. So in this tutorial, we learned a little bit about getting Xcode up and running, running our first playground, taking a look at Swift, how variables work, and how we can actually manipulate variables. I hope to see you guys in the next tutorial. We're going to dive a little deeper.